These might not be Kodak moments, but hey, we'll take what we can get when it comes to Rick. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Rick was actually nice to someone. For this list, we're looking at those surprising instances where Rick Sanchez's tender side crept up, showing that he does care at least a little about certain individuals.
This was a good breakfast, Beth. You really made the crap out of those eggs. I wish your mother was here to eat them.
Oh, Dad.
What? For real?
Number 10. Creating Fruipyland for Beth. Fatherhood didn't come to him naturally, but Rick is the only parent we can think of who made their child an artificial fantasy land, complete with a rainbow river.
I can't believe you used to lock me up in this glorified chicken coop.
Chicken coop? Those are procedurally generated clouds, Beth. That river is a rainbow, literally.
Putting little Beth's safety first, Rick populated Fruipyland with a bouncy terrain, breathable water, and harmless creatures.
Oh, how do you like that? What kind of merciless creator makes the ground bouncy?
That said, this dream world eventually evolved into a nightmare world, with Beth's childhood friend Tommy getting trapped inside for years. It's also revealed that Rick created Fruipyland to distance Beth from the neighborhood kids, as she expressed the desire to harm them.
Ray guns, a whip that forces people to like you, invisibility cuffs, a parent trap, a lightning gun, a teddy bear with anatomically correct innards.
While he mainly wanted to spare himself the effort of having to clone anybody who got on Beth's bad side, Rick still cared enough to keep his daughter out of trouble, and other children out of danger. Number 9. Taking Morty to Atlantis. Whenever Rick drags Morty on an adventure, it's almost always guaranteed to be life-threatening and emotionally scarring.
This was insane! That was pure luck! I was not in control of that situation at all!
In a refreshing change of pace, Rick takes Morty on a fun-filled adventure to the lost city of Atlantis.
All right, Morty, you ready for our adventure to the lost city of Atlantis?
Ready as I'll ever be, Rick!
Of course, we hilariously never get to see this adventure, as the episode instead focuses on what the various other Ricks and Mortys are up to at the Citadel. Based on a post-credits scene, however, it's clear the two had a blast. Upon arriving home, Rick fondly reminisces about the trip he just had with his grandson, most notably their encounter with some alluring mermaids. Moments like this demonstrate that Rick enjoys having Morty along for the ride, and is capable of showing him a good time.
Yeah! We're going back for seconds! We're gonna do that every week, man! That was Atlantis!
Number 8. His semi-nice wedding toast. Bird Person is among the few individuals in the multiverse who Rick considers a true friend.
The hell is a bird person?
He's Rick's best friend!
Although he's pessimistic about the concept of marriage, Rick shows up to Bird Person's wedding, albeit reluctantly. At the suggestion of Morty, Rick opens up at the reception, where he delivers a mostly ad-libbed toast. Despite getting off to a cynical start, the speech builds to a heartfelt climax as Rick calls Bird Person his best friend. Sorry, Squanchy.
But, here's the thing. Bird Person is my best friend. And if he loves Tammy, well, then I love Tammy too. To friendship, to love, and to my greatest adventure yet, opening myself up to others.
He even accepts Bird Person's bride Tammy, saying that he loves both of them. Unfortunately, this touching moment is ruined when Tammy exposes herself as a Galactic Federation agent and takes out Bird Person. Rick sees people die virtually every day without batting an eye, so his emotional reaction to Bird Person's sudden demise speaks volumes.
Bird Person, no!
Number 7. His message for Noob-Noob. Rick is at his evilest when he's blackout drunk, but even drunk Rick has a warm fuzzy side.
You do have one thing that I'll never have, and that thing is the only part of the Vindicators with any value to me. If you know what it is, place it on the platform.
In order to complete his final periculous puzzle, a recording of drunk Rick instructs the Vindicators to present something that he doesn't have, but they do.
It's possible I got so drunk I felt like I was losing Morty to the Vindicators, and maybe this is my way of saying, okay, you can have him, but only if you know how important he is, otherwise I'll kill you.
Regular Rick comes to the conclusion that his drunk self was talking about Morty, who steps onto the platform. Morty's treated to a peaceful ride as drunk Rick confesses his affection for the viewer. As sincere as drunk Rick's words are, they aren't intended for his grandson.
Even my own grandson is like, oh, the Vindicators are so cool. I mean, he's a moron. That's their demographic. But you're different, Noob-Noob.
Morty realizes that drunk Rick made this message for Noob-Noob, a Vindicator intern/janitor who laughed at his joke.
Thanks, Noob-Noob.
Regardless, drunk Rick obviously thinks highly of Noob-Noob, even if regular Rick can't remember him. Number 6. Fighting Voltimatron with love.
I am Voltimatron, destroyer of worlds!
One of many ordeals that Rick wiped from his memory, Morty learns that his body was once possessed by a parasitical alien known as Voltimatron. Science can't get Morty out of this pickle, but Rick has an ace up his sleeve: the power of love.
It's me, your grandpa. I know I can be mean, but I love you, Morty.
Rick tells Morty that he loves him, in spite of his constant ridicule, and that he needs to fight. Beth and Summer follow Rick's example, giving Morty the encouragement to force the alien out of his mouth slowly. Too slowly, actually, resulting in the family making fun of Morty and Voltimatron sliding back up.
Jeez, Morty, come on, pinch it off already.
While Rick does fall back on bad habits, it's not every day that he expresses love for Morty or anybody, making this memory almost heartwarming. Number 5. Showing up to Tony's funeral. When an alien named Tony uses his personal toilet, Rick's first instinct is to destroy him. Affected by the widowed Tony's words, Rick fart bombs him instead, which we guess is nicer than shooting him. Tony returns for another dump, motivating Rick to ensnare him in a simulation of his idealized heaven. After Tony pieces together what's happening, he emerges with a new lust for life, which sadly results in a fatal ski accident.
Jesus, I gotta process this.
He may deny it, but Rick connected with Tony and is upset by this loss. Rick pays his respects at Tony's funeral, giving his father a cloning kit and cash. Returning to the toilet where he had a crude surprise for Tony, Rick reflects on what could have been a beautiful friendship.
Enjoy using it all by yourself while you sit there and think about how nobody wants to be around you and how you ruined it for yourself.
Number 4. Throwing an awesome party and cleaning up. At the very least, Rick is a fun grandparent.
Summer, you can't have a party. Because I'm having a party.
While Beth and Jerry are on vacation, Rick throws an epic house party, inviting an assortment of colorful characters who get along surprisingly well with Summer's classmates.
Squanchy party, bro!
Oh, squanchy!
While Morty is stressed throughout most of the rager, Rick does try to teach him a valuable lesson about cutting loose. Of course, they cut a little too loose, as the house is ultimately trashed. Rick freezes time, however, giving him, Morty, and Summer 6 months to clean up.
All right, that should do it.
Whoa, what did you do?
See for yourself.
In the midst of repairing the house, Rick and his grandchildren find the time to make jack-o'-lanterns, de-pants frozen people, and go TV shopping. Rick genuinely bonds with the kids, bringing them in for a hug and a new catchphrase.
I have a new catchphrase.
Oh yeah? What's that, Rick?
I love my grandkids.
Aww.
Number 3. Completing Morty's adventure. To keep Morty as his sidekick, Rick allows him to take the reins on an adventure.
Adventures are supposed to be simple and fun.
Oh yeah, Morty, yeah, that's real easy to say from the sidekick position.
Rick bets that their trip to a fantasy world will be a bust, but Morty is eager to prove otherwise. Well, Rick isn't wrong, as Morty gets into an uncomfortable jam with King Jellybean in the bathroom.
Hey, go with the flow!
Stop! You're making me really uncomfortable.
Rick deduces what happened, but instead of rubbing failure in the traumatized Morty's face, he tries to lift his spirits. Putting his own ego aside, Rick helps Morty complete the adventure and congratulates him on a job well done.
And then we'll give the rest of the schmeckles to the villagers. Huh?
Really?
Sure, Morty, yeah. You know, a good adventure needs a good ending.
Rick doesn't let King Jellybean off the hook either, obliterating him before disappearing through a portal. He might put Morty in constant danger, but that doesn't mean Rick isn't protective of him.
This one's wrapped up neat and clean because we did it Morty style.
Number 2. Tearing up over Morty. It's not often we see Rick's vulnerable side, but when an evil counterpart imprisons him, he can't hold back his deep-seated feelings. Planning to expunge him following an experiment, Evil Rick straps Rick C-137 in for a highlight reel of his life. Morty pops up in several clips, and upon seeing a memory of his baby grandson, Rick begins to cry.
You're crying?
While he doesn't say it, Rick appears distraught over the idea of leaving Morty behind. Morty is more than just a human cloaking device to him, which separates C-137 from other Ricks. Given the fan theories regarding Evil Morty, this moment might carry even more significance than we initially realized. However you read it, Morty was at the root of Rick's tears.
I did a pretty good job back there for a human cloaking device. Saved your ass.
I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Meaning, even a guy like Rick has to be nice sometimes, even if it's just by accident. But our number 1 most definitely was on purpose and shows that maybe deep down he's not such a bad guy after all. So let's look through some honorable mentions, and then we'll see the time Rick was nicest to someone. Helping Summer get revenge on the devil.
Rick? Summer?
Buying Morty a robot.
Like, what if you passed away or died or something? I wouldn't even have anything to remember all the cool stuff we did, you know?
Okay, 60 for the resonator, and my grandson wants the sex robot.
Everybody loves Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Thanks, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I always could count on you.
Accepting Jerry as a family member, under protest.
You win, Jerry. You win! No amount of genius can stop your dumb, mediocre, vacuous roots from digging into everything and everyone around you and draining them of any ability to fend you off.
Scary Terry pep talk.
You're putting too much pressure on yourself, Scary Terry. You know, you're perfectly scary enough as it is.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Sacrificing himself for Morty. As 64 different timelines simultaneously spiral out of control, Rick, Morty, and Summer must use time-stabilizing collars to restore balance.
Time is falling apart! We've got to get back to certainty quick! Give me your collars!
Oh man, don't you have to fix like 30 of them?
Morty, I have to fix 3 of them. And then there's 31 other versions of me that have to also fix 3 for a total of 96.
One Morty can't get his collar to strap on though, lapsing into the black void. Rick jumps in after him, but Morty loses his collar. Seeing no other alternative, Rick gives Morty his collar and sends him home. Rick doesn't have a backup plan and prepares to disappear into the abyss of Schrodinger's cats.
Rick! Oh!
Morty, where's your collar? I'll fix it.
I dropped it!
What the hell? What have you done to me, Morty? I'm okay with this. Be good, Morty. Be better than me.
It all works out regardless as Rick finds Morty's collar and fixes it just in time to escape. In the moment, however, Rick was able to make the ultimate sacrifice so that Morty could live. When push comes to shove, Morty's well-being is more important to Rick than his own.
Please, God, if there's a help, please be merciful to me. Yes, I did it! There is no God in your face!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.